Let's say you have a lousy wired mouse and you want an upgrade but you can't decide what gaming mouse to buy. In this video, we're going to help you decide what mouse to pick. We'll compare the Ajazz i309 Pro over the Rakk Talan side by side. We picked these mice because their price points are almost the same, as well as their specifications. Nah, enough with the intro and let's dive into the video. Just a disclaimer, the loadable softwares of these mice are available on their respective websites, but we're not going to install them. We'll just test and compare everything inside the box. Okay, let's move forward. First things first, let's compare the specifications. Now you've seen the specifications, let's discuss some details that were not shown before. Firstly, let's talk about aesthetics. Most of us are RGB fans already, and I, myself, is becoming one. I love the peripheral if it has RGB on it, like my mechanical keyboard, my gaming headphones, which I'll release a separate video of, and my mouse. If it has RGB, it's a plus for me. Fortunately, the two mice we're reviewing today have RGB lighting. When it comes to aesthetics, the advantage of Rakk Talan over the Ajazz i309 Pro is the top shell cover. Rakk Talan comes with a separate top shell cover when you buy it, unlike the Ajazz i309 Pro. With Rakk Talan, you have an option to go honeycomb or not. Also, Rakk Talan's plastic build is pretty decent and looks sturdy. On the other hand, the Ajazz i309 Pro's plastic build is decent as well, but if you look closely and feel the mouse, the Ajazz i309 Pro's plastic build feels cheaper. In terms of the available colorway, Rakk Talan comes with black and white, while the Ajazz i309 Pro only has black. Another advantage of Rakk Talan is the dongle compartment. Yes, the Ajazz i309 Pro doesn't have a dongle compartment. So, if you choose the Ajazz i309 Pro over the Rakk Talan, be very careful when using it, because you only have one wireless dongle. Both mice have the same number of buttons. The Ajazz i309 Pro has longer left and right click buttons compared to Rakk Talan. However, the side buttons of the Ajazz i309 Pro are a bit smaller. To be honest, I like bigger side buttons because with just a little movement of my thumb, I can easily feel them. On the other hand, smaller side buttons make me look at the mouse from time to time when I'm clicking one of them. Both mice don't have side grips, which is a downside for me. It will be difficult for claw grip users to handle them because of the missing side grips. Although the Ajazz i309 Pro has linear grips on the side, it's not enough. Now, another advantage of Rakk Talan is the DPI indicator. You can easily determine what DPI you're using by just looking at the mouse wheel. The lighting of the mouse wheel will tell you what DPI setting you are using. Unlike the Ajazz i309 Pro, you cannot clearly see the indicator because it's really small and it's found at the bottom of the DPI button. Earlier in the specifications clip, you saw their sensors. Again, the Ajazz i309 Pro has PAW3338, while the Rakk Talan has PAW3335. In reality, these sensors are the same. PAW3338 is the Ajazz variant of PAW3335. I guess when it comes to sensors, both are tied, no questions asked. For me, weight is very important, especially when gaming. So now, let's check the weight of each mouse. Let's start with the Ajazz i309 Pro because one of its selling points is the lightweight feature. The Ajazz i309 Pro weighs around 77 grams, while Rakk Talan weighs 76 grams. In this category, Rakk Talan beat the Ajazz i309 Pro by 1 gram. It's a pretty close battle when it comes to weight. Now, let's tackle the battery life of both mice. I think they are tied in this category again. Both can last up to 1 to 2 days on standby mode with the RGB lighting turned on. Both mice have a battery saving feature as well, which is very important for a wireless mouse. It turns off the RGB lighting when you're using them. Now, what do we do if both mice have low battery but you still want to use them? The good thing is, both of them have dual mode. Yes, you can use them in wired mode and wireless mode. Now, our dilemma in wired mode or in wired mouse is the cord drag. Fortunately, both cords of these mice are flexible enough to prevent cord drag. Also, they both have decent cord organizers, which are very useful when using them in wired mode. For me, the thicker the mouse gates, the better. Why? Because thick mouse gates will prevent other components found at the bottom of the mouse from rubbing on the surface of the mousepad. Hence, smoothness is retained when gliding on the mousepad. If we look closely, Rakk Talan's mouse gates are thicker compared to the Ajazz i309 Pro. Also, same with Rakk Talan, Talan's mouse gates are replaceable. This is definitely a plus for me because over time, due to friction, mouse gates can get thinner. And if this happens, you can easily replace the mouse gates of Rakk Talan. Now, let's test this mice in gaming. Let's see which mice are really good for gaming. In this testing, we tried all the DPI settings available, from lowest to highest. I had a hard time identifying the current DPI of the Ajazz i309 Pro because of the indicator. Like I said earlier, the DPI indicator is really small. With all the 3 grip types, I find the fingertip comfortable. Also, I think I can palm the Ajazz i309 Pro. But if I use the claw grip style, it will be difficult for me, maybe because of the mouse length. Some say that when you're buying a mouse, you need to get the measurement first of your longest finger down to the middle of your palm, then compare it to the length of the mouse. If you're a claw grip user, the mouse should be 1 inch shorter. For palm or fingertip users, the length of the mouse will not be an issue. Now, let's use Rakk Talan. Just like our testing of the Ajazz i309 Pro, we used all the DPI settings of Rakk Talan. For me, both mice are still usable when the DPI setting is at 2000 to 2400 setting. I cannot handle it anymore beyond these settings. In my opinion, both mice are good for gaming. I did not experience any issue when I tested them even if I used them wirelessly. So, good job Ajazz and Rakk gears. For our final verdict, it's definitely Rakk Talan. As seen earlier, Rakk Talan beat the Ajazz i309 Pro in most categories. And that's it guys, hopefully you picked something from this video. We've reached the end part now, and I guess this is it. Till our next, goodbye.